Minister, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be back in Nicosia. As the Minister said, the global economy is experiencing a new shock. The war in Ukraine and its widespread economic consequences, they threaten our recovery that was only starting after the pandemic. And economic growth projections for the euro area have already been revised downward for 2023. Commodity prices, particularly for energy and food, have risen significantly in early 2022. The economic loss for the euro area stemming from the current energy price hikes is the biggest terms of trade shock since the Second World War. For the euro area, as an energy importer, this price increase is a transfer of income and wealth abroad to energy exporters. The loss cannot be compensated fully by fiscal measures. That means it's important to limit policy interventions to targeted actions to help contain direct and indirect inflationary pressures. This new environment is also creating uncertainty, weighing on consumer confidence. Nevertheless, the euro area has been able to weather this double shock of the pandemic and the war relatively well so far. One reason is that it could build on the strength and resilience gained after the financial crisis. Countries, including Cyprus, undertook crucial reforms to address macroeconomic vulnerabilities. Banks were made safer, and Europe's architecture was strengthened with new institutions, including my own institution, the European Stability Mechanism. All this has made our monetary union more resilient. Now let me say a few words on Cyprus in this context. Cyprus enjoyed strong economic performance in the first half of 2022. And compared to other European countries, the economic projections for Cyprus remain relatively robust. This is also reflected in economic activity in the areas of tourism and information technology. The strong reforms efforts over the last years have benefited the economy and made the banking sector more resilient. The progress in the financial sector is evident. Non-performing loans of the Cypriot banking sector have decreased by close to 90% since 2015. Efforts to reduce them further should continue, and an effective application of the insolvency and foreclosure framework are important in this context. Cyprus has also been able to improve its fiscal balance and create fiscal space. The Minister has already mentioned this. While at the same time it has extended timely and temporary support during the pandemic to the economy. In the current energy and cost of living crisis, it extended support that has been contained in scope. This cautious use of instruments has contributed to a significant improvement of Cyprus' fiscal position this year. Continuing on this path, focusing on tailored temporary support for more vulnerable groups in society will ensure sufficient fiscal buffers remain in place to mitigate the impact of the expected economic slowdown and any future adverse shocks which we don't know yet. Now, these efforts have not gone unnoticed. Cyprus ratings have improved over the last 5 years. There has been a good rating cycle. Achieving investment grade from all main rating agencies would be beneficial. Continued evidence of strong economic resilience with high absorption of EU funds and implementation of reforms under the country reform plan would support this objective. This requires determined action by the Cypriots. And now and over the coming years, delays in the implementation of the recovery plan would have a negative impact on investment and growth. On the same score, investing in modernizing the economy through digital technologies and innovation help enhance productivity and diversification. The strong growth we have witnessed so far in the ICT sector is one sign of important steps already taken in this direction in this country. Finally, to preserve future economic growth in view of climate risks in Cyprus, early mitigating action is important for the economy's resilience and to be well prepared and not to be overwhelmed when it comes. The transition to green energy reinforces the resilience. It reduces the dependence on external energy supply. All European countries, including Cyprus, could accelerate this transition. The proposed measures under the Recovery and Resilience Plan, which received very good comments, will help further strengthen the competitiveness of the economy. Implementation is now key. So let me conclude. In the short and medium term, Cyprus could focus on tailored and temporary support for more vulnerable groups and ensure sufficient fiscal buffers remain in place. And that to mitigate the expected slowdown and future adverse shock. In the long term, investment in modernizing the economy to increase productivity, diversification and economic growth would be advisable. Thank you very much.